Squid Invaders. In a quiet suburban town nestled between the mountains, there lived a teenager named Max. For as long as he could remember, Max had been captivated by the retro arcade game, Space Invaders. The arcade, a dimly lit haven for nostalgic gamers, was his second home, and the iconic machine beckoned to him like a siren's call. Max's obsession with the game had gradually seeped into every aspect of his life. He would spend hours on end at the arcade, meticulously maneuvering his pixelated spaceship across the screen, blasting away wave after wave of alien invaders. His dedication to mastering the game was unwavering, and it began to take a toll on him. His health suffered as he often skipped meals and lost precious sleep. His eyes bore the telltale signs of a screen addict, red and bloodshot, and he had developed a perpetually hunched posture. His obsession with Space Invaders was driving a wedge between him and his few friends, who couldn't understand why he was so fixated on a decades-old game when there were countless modern alternatives. Max's mother, Linda, watched her son's life unravel with growing concern. She saw him fading away into a world of flashing lights and electronic beeps, and it pained her to see how distant he had become. Their once close relationship had eroded, replaced by awkward silences and frustrated arguments. One sunny afternoon, Max was at the arcade yet again, lost in the comforting embrace of his favorite game. As he zoned out in a trance of alien annihilation, Linda couldn't bear it any longer. She stormed into the arcade, determined to break her son free from his digital prison. She reached for the power cord and pulled it from the wall, ending the game abruptly. Max was furious. He raged at his mother, accusing her of not understanding the significance of his mission in Space Invaders. He begrudgingly followed her out of the arcade, not realizing that this moment would change everything. As they stepped into the sunlight, a massive shadow fell over the town. Looking up, Max's heart sank. A monstrous, otherworldly creature, a space squid, descended from the sky. Its tentacles reached out, snatching Linda as she walked to the grocery store, leaving Max frozen in shock. Panic swept through the town as more space squids descended, their presence signaling the start of a cataclysmic event. Max's gaming skills, once regarded as a mere hobby, now became his greatest asset. He had been unknowingly training for this very moment, using Space Invaders as a simulator for an invasion that he had believed was merely a fantasy. Max's guilt was unbearable. The realization that he could have saved his mother if he had taken the game more seriously haunted him. With newfound purpose, he embarked on a perilous journey to save his planet, defending Earth against the space squids. He was no longer just a teenager with an obsession, he was a leader, a general. Max rallied all those who were willing to join his cause. He gathered the arcade versions of Space Invaders from across the town, uniting them in a makeshift command center. Using his extensive knowledge of the game, he trained others to use the game as a training tool to fend off the real space squids. Max's leadership skills flourished, and he became a strategic genius, orchestrating attacks, coordinating defensive maneuvers, and monitoring the movements of the space squids. The arcade machines became powerful weapons in the fight, their screens showing real-time data and simulations of the enemy's tactics. Together with his fellow defenders, Max mounted a fierce resistance against the space squids. They utilized their newly acquired gaming skills to fend off the alien invaders in a spectacular display of determination and resourcefulness. In the midst of this chaos, Max learned that sometimes, the things that seemed trivial or obsessions could hold the key to unexpected heroism. His journey was no longer about saving Earth alone but also about uniting people, mending his relationships, and showing the world that even in the most unusual places, heroes could emerge to defend their planet.